Clippers, some moves that they could potentially make. I got 3 targets that I think they should target. Terrence Mann, he's been bounced out of the rotation, in and out of the rotation. Some nights he plays, other nights he doesn't. I think with his contract too, his contract's pretty high. They've been looking to move him, so I think he'll definitely be in the deal. You won't miss his minutes because, like I said, he's really hasn't been playing that much. This used to be a high quality role player for them. I think this would be an interesting ad for another team. And Bones Highland only played 19 games this season. He's averaging 11 minutes in the games he plays. This guy, I think he has still a high upside. Really like how he could create his own shot. Really like the playmaking ability. Really like the dribble he has. He's just really never been put in the right spot. I feel like Denver, he lost some of his minutes. He was averaging double-digit points off the bench. The Clippers, I really like the addition to get him, but things just haven't panned out for him really in his career so far. So I think if you put him on the Utah Jazz or another team, a young team, he could get some really good minutes and turn his career around potentially. So this is an interesting player that teams could, keep an eye out on. Younger teams that are trying to, tank or whatever. I think, yeah, he could go crazy if you give him 30 minutes. Like we've seen him with the Clippers. You put him out there. Some of your starters playing. It's a game that doesn't really matter. He drops like 30, 20 points. So this is a microwave score, but things just haven't worked out for him in the rotation and with the Clippers. Anthony Simons, I think that's a bucket that the Clippers should go after. 18.5 points per game. Down season for him. He's usually a 20-point scorer. Really good three-point shooter. I think he's at 37% from 3 right now. But this is, like I said, it's a down season. You get him with the Clippers. You get him with the contending team. He said he wants to play for a contending team. I think this could be a high-level scorer for you off the bench. They need more scoring, the Clippers. They're 24th in scoring. They need more scoring, especially off the bench. Norman Powell, James Harden, some of these guys, they could use some more scoring off the bench. He could create his own shot. The three-point shooting he could provide would be a huge boost. He could definitely fit into Norman Powell's old role. So I like the addition of Simons. And like I said, come into a new situation, new change of scenery. Give him, Ty Lue could give him more confidence. The chemistry that the Clippers have building in that locker room, adding another guy to the mix, I don't think he'll disrupt any of that. I think if anything, it will, leak onto him and he'll be able to, get his game back, be a 6th man of the year, really productive scorer off the bench, exactly what the Clippers need. He could help them get further into that championship contention. The next guy I have is Jordan Clarkson. Same kind of scorer, 6th man of the year guy, a couple years ago. He's had a couple down years in Utah, 17 points per game last year. The year before, 20 points per game. This season, 15.8 points per game. He's shooting 41% from the field too. The three-point shooting is not as great as Simons, but this is a guy, a bucket getter, exactly what you need off the bench. A Norman Powell replacement for that role, like Simons. But I think another player that just needs a change of scenery. You bring him over to the Clippers, give you that Lou Williams type of production, that type of, mold. You don't have to worry about, getting him open shots, open looks. He could create all that on his own. And, Chris Dunn, great defender. Kevin Porter Jr., solid scorer every now and then, but they're not guys that can give you 15 a night consistently. Jordan Clarkson could be that. And that could help take this Clippers team to the next level. Having a threat off the bench, I like that a lot. You could keep Terrence Mann as, a guy that could defend, keep him in the rotation. I think that would be a solid move for the Clippers and a huge get. Robert Williams would be a huge get for the Clippers too. They need a better backup big. Mo Bamba's their backup big right now. They have Kai Jones too. Kai Jones really hasn't seen too much minutes. But Robert Williams, he has similar knee issues to Kawhi Leonard. He's a guy that can't stay healthy very consistently. But the Clippers know better than anybody, any team, how to handle load management, and I think he would fit in well. Defensively, he's really good. One of the best backup bigs in the NBA. I mean, what he was doing with the Celtics really was disrupting Joel Embiid. That matchup, anytime the Celtics played the Sixers, he played a big part in Joel Embiid not having his best games in those performances. But this is a solid rim protector, a good lob threat. James Harden and him could have great chemistry, and he would help Zubac be able to get a rest and get a break. So I really like what Robert Williams could bring, and I think he could bring that edge defensively and fit in well with how good this whole team is defensively. So their defensive rating probably would be even better with a backup big like Robert Williams. So that's just a thought. John Collins is probably the dream target for the Clippers. It would cost Bones Highland, Terrence Mann, and picks. But would the Jazz really take that? The Jazz could probably get better offers for John Collins. But John Collins, 18 points per game, shooting 40% from the three-point line. Good, solid, underrated defender, decent rim protector, huge lob threat. He could give you the exact scoring you need, and I think he fits in pretty well with the starting lineup. You probably take Derrick Jones, you put him on the bench. Then you would have a starting lineup of James Harden, Norman Powell, Kawhi Leonard at the 3. He could go back to the position he really likes, his desired position. And then John Collins at the 4, Zubac at the 5. That's a starting 5 that could win a championship. That's a starting 5 you would take over a lot of starting 5s in the NBA and in the West. That's a complete unit. And Derrick Jones off the bench, Chris Dunn, Kevin Porter Jr. I really like what that team would look like overall, and I think he gives you the exact scoring you need with three-point shooting. So I think John Collins is a dream target. Could you imagine, a couple lobs from James Harden to John Collins? And it seems like after he got dunked on, really lost his confidence for a little bit, but this season he's having a career year, especially shooting from the 3. Bringing him to the Clippers, where this team is winning, the culture is great. I think he could get even more confidence and be a huge pivotal piece for them to win a championship. Some people thought the NFC North was going to be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was going to be as bad as the NFC South.